Dusty and I babble for 10 minutes, and Scott's like, hey, here's what you do. Start with a cup. If you don't grow, add a cup on your training day. Okay, next question.
Simple.
Why did this take you guys 5 minutes to not really answer?
And the whole basis of my 5-minute babble was keeping things simple. So we're doing, it's just bodybuilding. No episode number.
Even though some people like the episode number.
I see there's a few people.
There were.
They were against Scott. They were like, what?
Like, don't listen to him.
How long I've been an addict.
Don't listen to him. Don't let him stop. Don't let him stop you.
Don't make him push you down.
I like how they even went out of their way to say, like, I'm with Ron.
Yeah.
Like, I even said I didn't care.
No, you cared according to them. So
they're like, I don't believe him. He's just being nice. Yeah. I'm with Ron. Yeah.
That's funny. Good. That was good.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're doing, of course, we got Dusty Hanshaw, Scott McNally, myself, Ron Partlow. Like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. Sorry, I did your thing, Dusty. I don't know why
I'm glad you did because I'm focused on something, so we're good.
So, okay, he can move his arm. You do the arm thing. Ring the bell. Okay.
Dusty's busy. He's got text to do, stuff, other things.
I like how
really
Dusty
interrupted me.
I like how Dusty, he likes ringing the bell because that's his thing, but he's not like emotionally attached to it. He's like, I don't care, you do it today. Like some guys would feel like they got their toes stepped on.
Yeah, that was his part.
Dusty.
I don't have toes. We're good.
Okay.
Shoes.
Okay. So, and yes, do all those things actually. The like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff actually does help. Scott shows us the back end of episodes where we get more engagement on, and it makes a big difference.
Don't say I show you the back end of anything.
It's always about the back end.
It's always about the back end, remember.
There's a lot of depth and thickness back there that we didn't know. Wait, what?
So, definitely, and definitely helps. So we appreciate it. And also, too, thanks to Mutant for not only working with Dusty and I, but also now working with Dusty, I, and Scott as supporters of the show. And they just want to support the show.
Do they get like a tax credit for doing all this stuff with special needs people, or how's that work?
Yeah, there's like you probably pitched it to the accountant. Be creative with this one.
Have you met these three?
I don't
Trust me.
I don't actually want this to cost me money. Let's make this some kind of write-off. Yeah,
he's got a donation.
He's got us listed as a charity on his taxes. Yeah,
makes sense. Really, these poor guys would be doing nothing if we didn't help them. So
yeah, exactly. So thanks to Mutant, and of course, Dusty and I have codes. So if you want to go on the IamMutant.com website and order your shit, Big Ron 20 and
Dusty 20. And I thought about something, Ron, and this is it's all about fairness. Okay, I thought the whole world is about being fair now. So here, if you live in Canada, use Ron's code. If you live in the United States,
I knew exactly where that was going. You know what, Ron? You can have all the Canadian orders.
All 26 of them. It's going to be great.
You can have all of them. How about even if Dusty just took like the Eastern Seaboard?
Yeah,
he would probably still.
Fine. I'll take New York and California. All right, the rest.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to use the Electoral College. We're just going to. You just take those 2 states and you'll rule the world.
Okay. Listen, we'll keep it fair. Only the states that truly are red.
Okay.
Well, that's all of them. Okay, perfect. Moving on. Shit, I keep.
I like how Dusty. Truly. I like how Dusty doesn't. He doesn't like get political. But he'll just like drop a nugget in and then walk away.
Yeah.
It's like to remind people. It's
right. He just likes to remind people where he stands. And then he just walks away. He doesn't make a big deal out of it. He could just be like, yeah, but that's because you're, fucking liberal. But whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, next question.
I went to Costco the next day and I picked up the chicken I needed and it was all good.
Did you guys happen to listen to the Rogan that he had that he just connection lost? That he just had with Aaron Rodgers?
No.
So I watched. There's they put out those highlight clips.
Yeah.
I watched one of the highlight clips, and I saw one where he tells him to vote Republican.
Yeah, so that was it. He was like, he goes, well, how do we solve that? He goes, vote Republican. And I was like, and he did that. He just like walked it off, and then he came back and he's like, well, over 1 million people changed from Democrat to Republican this year. So,
yeah,
like as a fact, I was dying. But that interview, okay, I always liked Aaron Rodgers, but every time he speaks, I like him more.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell that they're actually friends. Because at one point I realized that they forgot they were doing a show. And they're just talking. I sent it to a couple people that like love Rogan. And my friend Daniel was like, this is one of the best Rogan episodes I've ever seen.
Oh, I'll have to watch it then. Okay.
Because it was very chill. Like, nothing breaking happens. But it's the longest I've ever been able to watch a show straight through before I had to cut and come back. I was over an hour at one point, which for me, that's a 3-minute time span typically.
Right.
So solid. Yeah.
Okay.
Check it out.
Yeah.
People.
I know what you mean. Like, I used to watch Rogan all the time when I worked at the office. So
a lot of air quotes going on today.
There's a lot of people watching this program. Yeah, there's a lot of people who can relate. People who are
my job.
People who are working right now while they're watching this. Yeah.
Exactly. Working hard.
Remember when I used to watch Rogan like all day, like hundreds of episodes. And, they're good because he's a great interviewer. But then there's like the odd episode where you're like, oh, that was like really great. And it's usually just because the guest is really cool and is willing to tell the big stories and the inside scoops. And you know what I mean? Like, I remember Jake the Snake. That episode was fucking nuts. Like, I remember watching it and just being like, holy fuck. And then
you'll dig this for the same reason, because Aaron Rodgers says things during this interview. I know the NFL was like, motherfucker.
Right.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Gold. Yeah. Absolute gold. Plus, typically Rogan, what makes him a great interviewer is he speaks like 15% of the time. He just has his guests do their thing. These two were just chatting. I kept looking at the screen to see if like the steak and rice and the margarita pizza had showed up, and they were just, at Earl's.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And there's also, I really enjoyed a Lex Friedman episode this week. It was, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a former CIA agent. And he had him on, and he was like pretty liberal with some of the stories he told. Like, I was surprised at some of the stuff that he was able to say and he felt comfortable saying, because he was in the CIA for like years. And like Lex asked him, do you think Jeffrey Epstein was in contact with an intelligence agency like Mossad or the CIA or somebody? And he just goes, oh, absolutely. There's no way you have that network of friends and you haven't been reached out to, or are in contact, whether you know it or not, with someone from like a really high level intelligence agency somewhere in the world that is probably concerned with, someone that you're hanging out with or someone that you're doing business with or something that's going on. And he just said that Epstein, with his guest list on his airplane and who he hung out with, it was absolutely in contact with somebody, whether it be the CIA or Mossad or, there's lots of rumors, right? So just stuff like that. But it was a great interview because he talked a lot about like how much, like, it's crazy how in depth they're willing to go to get close to someone if they really need to. Like
you've sold
like
me.
Establishing completely fictitious relationships for long periods of time, like stuff like that. Just really, really crazy with what they'll do if they need to, get information from you.
Huh. I got to hear that one.
That's so fascinating because they do that when, like, do you remember when the whole bust went down on all the pro hormones? Like the very first time?
Yeah, of course.
So the company that I was with was one of them that got raided. And what was crazy was they were ordering their products for 2 years.
Holy
just
shit.
Establishing.
Yeah.
Just letting it roll. And that's why it's funny when some of these other companies that got busted over the last few years and thought they were getting away with it. I'm like, they don't knock until you're fucked.
Right. Right.
Like
they don't knock until you're fucked.
completely fucked. Like, so the idea that you think you're walking out of that, I got a really good attorney. So do they.
Huh.
You're fucked.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like how I used no words and I used a lot of them.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I said everything.
Yeah. I know. How's the week been generally? What's the news with Dusty?
The week has been crazy because now, our travel schedule, which we already discussed, is kicked up. So I've got my flights for England set, the flights for Dubai set. The house is going to be done on the 29th. I got Rogan on the 30th in Atlanta. I added a Georgia game in 2 weeks in South Carolina that I got to go to. I like to just
what
be
what
way
what
too
what
busy.
team? What do you mean a Georgia game?
Oh, well, in the South, if you say Georgia, that just means football immediately.
Right, so Georgia Tech University, like you're going to a college team or what?
Yes, but not Georgia Tech.
I can't say. It wasn't in the camera. It looks like the Bulldogs. Okay.
Yes, sir. So
what's that? Georgia State? Like, what's the? I know there's so many schools. What's the school called?
You just have to say Georgia, and you're all set.
Just say Georgia. Okay.
But no, it's they're just some little team that won the national championship last year. This is an interesting fact you'll like, Ron. So Georgia's always been good.
Yeah,
but Alabama is better. They win. They just win, just the way it is. And the coach of Alabama, actually, his protege is the coach of Georgia. So when I moved to the South, it's like they freaking locked me in a room and they're like, you need a team. That's how it fucking works down here. If you're going to live here, you need a team. So I did what any man's man would do. And I was like, well, what team is red and black? Those are my favorite colors.
I'm going to have to wear hats and jerseys,
shirts. It's a whole thing.
They need to match.
I got look at the red chucks. What am I going to do if the shirt's green? Right? Yeah. I got red chucks. So
it's like I could use navy blue. It's a possibility, and there can be some gray. But other than that, all the other teams are off the table.
It can't be like an orange and pale blue tone or something like that. That's just not going to work.
No. So I watched a couple games, and I really liked their defense. Okay, so I was like, all right, that's my team, which some would call front running, but it's red and black. I mean, I hate to point this out, but Ron, Mutant didn't used to be red and black until I came in. Anyways, back to the thing. So
he is correct.
They are cruising along, being the second best. The only thing that changed last year was me, and then they won.
Huh.
That's not a coincidence. I changed the game.
Whose phone is on? I got to ask. We will get complaints
all over the place.
We get people who say, hey, whose phone's ringing the whole time? Can't you turn it off for the podcast? Somebody's okay. I'm just checking.
I got you.
Okay. Thank you.
There'd be way more ringing on mine. But anyways, so now I've saved Georgia Bulldogs. They're winning now, and so much so, Ron, that the cigar bar I like, they only have a couple of TVs in the section I like. So I called ahead and was like, can I pay and reserve my seats for the game? And he was like, sure. So bam, now I have reserved seating for the games. Nice. You just call ahead and pay a little money and you're all set. It's just like anywhere else. It's amazing. And
that's funny. That's funny. You're like, you've moved. How long ago did you move?
A little over a year. I've changed everything.
A little over a year. So he's moved less than a year ago. And
what's over a year? I said over.
Over a year.
Come on.
He's built a house. He's got Jack Nicholson seating at the cigar bar for Georgia Bulldog games.
There you go.
And so you're like the king of Kensington already. You're like walking through town. You're just like strolling down the street like, hey, what's up? Yeah.
With my boots on.
With your boots on.
Right. There you go.
Funny.
So
you need to pick a team.
It's a serious thing. We did the same thing with my friend. He came down here from Boston, immediately shook him down. He had a little bit more creative way. This is the other you, Ron, Rob. So what he went with was SEC team with the hottest chicks. Then he wanted a
what's SEC?
This is a lot for a Canadian. It's just one of the It's the best. You'll leave it at that.
Is
So
that like
you
Big
have the
Ten?
whole,
Like, is that one of the divisions you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
You got
You do
Big
know.
10, Pac-10. And then, so what's SEC stand for? Southeastern Conference?
Sure, why not? Fuck if I know, dude. I'm new to this game.
Well, it's got to mean something, right? I need to know.
It doesn't have to mean anything. It has to mean red and black. Remember, I chose a team based on colors. You're trying to get into depth. You're fucking everything up here. So anyways, he said, all right, hottest chicks. Then he was like, all right, who has a mascot that's problematic and has been banned? And then he was like, I need like a scumbag coach. A real dirtbag.
Like any sexual scandals or drug.
He was looking for things, right? So he selects Ole Miss. Okay, that's who he goes with. I understood his angles, but then we're watching the game together the other day, and it's the end of the half, okay? They're up 21-0 to Troy, which is a team that just sucks, okay? You're already up 21-0. You usually just let things roll. So they're going for a field goal to get on the board. Their coach, right before they kick, calls a timeout. Just that's what you do against a great team at the end to fuck them up. Not when you're always right when he did that. I looked at Rob and I'm like, you made a good choice. This guy's a dick.
He's a dick. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it, and that's that. His selection was much more in depth than mine.
That's funny. He went into like whether the coach was like an asshole. I like that.
Yeah, the whole setup.
So it's interesting. I'm interested in your move. I know there's such a huge, like the States is like, to me, I see the States as every different like main area. Like you got the Midwest and the South and, New York area. And, I don't know what you call all the
Northeast.
different spots.
Yeah.
But there's like a real like identity that most of the people from that area seem to be like,
oh yeah,
embracing.
Football is a religion that everyone believes in.
Yeah, it's just I know it's crazy.
Like this whole Jesus thing is questionable for a lot of people, but football, fuck no.
There's no question.
We can agree to disagree on the whole savior situation, but not on football. So yeah, it's a big thing.
Okay,
fun facts.
That is funny. Okay, what about Scott? You had your birthday.
Yeah, it's actually tomorrow. So, but
True.
It was my birthday. I guess so. This is a thing. I didn't know this until Victoria's birthday, which was in July. We had like the birthday week. So it is the week. You get to kind of spread it out a little bit. So this is my birthday week.
Is that what they're doing now?
Well, I don't know.
The cool kids.
Yeah, I guess. So, so we went on Friday. Because that's our date day.
Date day.
Yeah. We take the day off, although I upload a podcast every Friday morning. Then we went to the zoo, Detroit Zoo. It was fun. We got to see all the animals, giraffes. I saw there are 3 of them, gorillas. And I swear to God, because I hadn't been to the zoo in a long time, like those things are so insane. Like I wonder, I had some pictures. I wonder if I can pull this out. Like literally, we're talking like these things look like bodybuilders. Here's a video. But like that thing is insane. Like the muscle on these things is just insane. Here's another shot here. And it's like you're walking around, you're looking at these things. It was kind of like looking at, I can't get the other ones to come up, but it's like you're looking at all these animals and you're like, oh, there's an anteater and there's a bear. And when you see the gorilla, it's like, oh my God, I'm looking at a human being, a gigantic human being. And you feel like I shouldn't stare at that. It's like you're staring at a person. It was weird, but with like Ronnie Coleman lats. So just hanging down. Ronnie Coleman lats, Ronnie Coleman hamstrings, glutes, like the whole 9 yards. So anyway, that was fun. It was good.
Yeah. It's the power of genetics.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks, Ronnie.
Pretty crazy. Power of genetics. Like they don't lift weights. They don't eat much. They don't eat any meat. Well, they can, but they're not typically, So it's kind of crazy.
They're just sitting there at first, though, and the one was just kind of sitting there, like just dazing, like looking off, like he was thinking. And that's the one I saw first, and he was facing away. And like I said, you could just see like the lat hang, and with that like Ronnie Coleman like lower lat hang, and I was just like, wow, that's some power there. And then a few minutes later they were playing, but their playing looked really intense. Like I got to see the like pounding on the chest and like the running at each other really hard. Like it was like if there was anything in that zoo that was kind of scary, it was the Guerrillas, man. They were cool. They were cool to look at. So it was fun.
If they played with us, we would die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they fucking kill you, man. That's they're so strong. Okay. Do we have YouTube questions? Oh no, you bought yourself a birthday present. Oh, you bought yourself a birthday present. You bought yourself
so many things.
Jesus, you gotta show us.
I showed Ron this, Dusty, before
while I was logged off for the 72nd time.
Yes. So I did get myself a birthday present. This is I always wanted an AK-47, like since I was a little kid.
You absolutely, positively gots to kill every motherfucker in the room except no substitute.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
So
come on, who knows that movie? Who knows that movie? Come on. We'll let the listeners can report in.
So yeah, this is a Yugo, as they call it, Yugo variation AK. Basically, this one was made in Serbia, former Yugoslavia, and some slight differences from like the Russian ones, the Romanian ones. But this one in particular is known as, we call them here, a crink or a crink-off. By the way, I should probably make sure it's empty.
Yeah, don't shoot through the ceiling.
Yeah, I knew it was empty, but I wanted to do that for everybody else. So this is like a shortened version. It's technically a pistol, believe it or not. And this is technically a pistol because the barrel's only 10 inches. Now, the thing is,
you don't get to say that very often. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
They don't only 10 inches.
You wouldn't see these like a standard person in the military wouldn't be carrying it around. But the guys who would have it would be like the tank guys or like the chopper guys, the people that needed to have it like something that was compact, you know. And that's why it has like, I've got the collapsible brace on it and everything. And I was telling Ron that these were thought of in certain places in the world as like a trophy, because if you could get one of these as a battlefield pickup, that means that you took out a tank or, you know, you took out a chopper or something like that. So you grab that motherfucker, you take that home, that would be one hell of a trophy. But yeah, it's, you know, same technology as like they used in 1947. Like it's very simple, very few moving parts. I think there might be like a paper clip in there holding it all together. You know, it's
duct tape,
little duct tape, you know, little paper clip.
I love that. I love that scene in that Lord of War movie with Nicolas Cage where he explains the AK-47.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that.
Remember that scene?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
Forged steel and plywood. It doesn't break, jam, or overheat. It will shoot whether it's covered in mud or filled with sand.
Yeah.
Do I need to see this?
You've seen Lord of War where Nicolas Cage is a gun dealer, arms dealer? That's like one of his best movies.
Huh.
It was like...
He doesn't have any good movies. Let me write this down.
Yeah, Lord of War. Watch that. It's great. I highly recommend that. You've seen that, Scott. You must have.
No, I didn't see it.
Really?
Look at he's about to hang up on us. This is out of control.
Oh, it's like required viewing if you like guns.
Wow. Okay, sorry. I had to go. I actually saved that. Ron says shit all the time during the show, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, I don't want to text him. That's weird. I don't remember. Fuck. So I just record them all. Ronisms.
There's a couple things I am going to do with this, like this thing on the front here. This is called a booster. So it helps to create more back pressure, but you can get like different muzzle devices. And the thing
what is
about
back pressure,
like the back pressure will help to make sure that the bolt cycles. So it looks like that. So it kind of like cuts off some of the power going out, but without that, this thing shoots like 3-foot fireballs when you pull the trigger, which is kind of cool. Like this motherfucker is loud. Like this is with the short barrel, there's hardly any barrel before the bullet leaves. So like the dwell time and the powder burning, like there will be burning powder that comes out the front of that. So they actually make muzzle devices that will accentuate that, like, and make the pop louder,
the flame look wow,
and make the flame look bigger. So I'm kind of thinking about getting that. It's just kind of an obnoxious little gun. You know what I'm saying?
When are we going to get video of you shooting this?
You know, I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
That's not an answer. What is with you guys? Like, how about Tuesday? of next week. Perfect.
We can do
right,
that.
Good.
We can do that.
Oh, that's exciting. We'll put it on the next episode. Thank you.
So yeah, this is it's fun. You know, it's fun. 7.62, 39 millimeter. It's nice. It's fun. It's definitely the most powerful gun that I have. There's no question. And
does Victoria shoot?
She's not a fan. She's from Canada. No offense, Ron.
Well, Ron's not really. Ron is half Canadian now because he hangs out with me too much. So we're cool.
Yeah.
Wow, it's exciting. Ron, you haven't told us what you're doing. You're ready to change the subject. What have you done? What did you do this weekend? The world wants to know.
What did I do this weekend? I just did my thing. My typical weekend is just work on my phone a lot, spend as much time at the gym as I can Saturday, like morning, afternoon, be there when it's busy. Fix some equipment, did some paperwork, that sort of shit. And then I got out on the bike, had a couple of sessions on the bike, had a good session on the guitar the other night. Had a date night where we got some Earls.
Yes.
And, just a fucking great weekend, Snuck a nap in here and there. I'm all ready for Monday morning.
Nice.
What's a holiday since you're half American so you can relax?
Well, yeah, we're open normal hours, though, at the gym, so.
I'm fascinated with this whole, the idea of a holiday where you get off from work when the holiday is Labor Day.
Yeah, it's funny. Get to work.
Well, I thought that this morning when I got to the fucking gym and it was slammed. I'm like, oh, Monday to Friday, this is my time. You all assholes have work. Go.
Yeah.
No, boy, no. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't experience holidays. Nothing like all those stat holidays that roll around, all those long weekend Mondays and stuff. That doesn't affect anything in my life. It's funny. I
don't think for any of us.
Single thing.
I don't think any of us.
Forget. I'll roll into the gym at noon expecting to see the noon crowd, and I see the Saturday crowd. And I'm like, what the fuck is this Saturday crowd here? Oh, right, it's some holiday Monday. I don't even fucking think about it.
I find it weird when people will say, I had someone say that. They shot me a DM. Happy Labor Day. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Why would you send me that?
Well, some people it's different, They're like, oh yeah, I get Friday, I get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So they're really
I back them enjoying the day.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like a different thing, I didn't. If I would have sent that to you, Scott, you'd be like,
huh, okay, yeah, I guess
that's what happened. I was like,
now I'm going to get back to work. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't answer. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't want to be rude, so I just won't answer. Oh, wait, that's rude.
I think that it says more about Dusty just handling a nice gesture. He just doesn't even know how to handle a nice gesture. Someone's like, hey, happy Labor Day. And he's like, who's this strange person saying positive things in my direction?
Well, remember, I don't even open DMs.
I'm not giving you any money. I'm not giving you money. Go away.
You're not my son. Oh, yes. God. All right. Whew.
Okay.
We're back.
So we got some YouTube questions. I'm sure there's a few or some comments that we got to mention.
We've got a bunch. What about, I know ephedrine is more popular up there in Canada because it's kind of legal still versus here. Yeah. This is the first one we have from Jeremy. He says, question for the next podcast. Can you guys discuss ephedrine? Uses, protocols, side effects, etc.?
I love ephedrine.
I love ephedrine.
And that's the other question. I remember somebody else asked us, it was for a different show, I think. Do you pronounce it ephedrine or ephedrine? And it sounds like I do the ephedrine, you guys do the ephedrine.
Yes. And I don't know which one is right because I don't care. But
yeah, I say ephedrine.
There's also ephedrine.
Yeah.
Then they got the alkaloids, the ephedra, which is bullshit. But yeah, it's not the same. Not the same at all. I loved ephedrine. In fact, Ron knows when I would go to Canada, I would load up and bring it back. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud, but because I used that my entire competitive career instead of Clen. I hate Clen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Love ephedrine. I would work up to 50 milligrams twice a day with 200 milligrams of caffeine and an aspirin. Good to go.
You did the full stack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would probably kill a bear, but I was very strung out on lots of different thermals at that point, so it did nothing. If I were to take 50 mgs of ephedrine now, I can only imagine.
Oh, it'd be a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my ephedrine tale starts when the very first ephedrine hit the market in like 1990, and it was called Dimetadrine 25.
Huh.
Oh, I loved those.
And there were 25 milligram pills of ephedrine, and there were 100 in a bottle. And you could also get the cheap ones called mini thins.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
That were like, at the time, they were like 20 milligram, I think.
Okay.
But we would get the Dimetadrine 25s because they just sold them at the gym on the shelf. Just got them in the supplement department. And you just went and bought a bottle of Dimetadrine, and you take one pre-workout with a coffee, you know? So it's like 25 ephedrine with, you know, probably 100 caffeine. And you go to the gym and you just have these fucking crank workouts because you're just like, "Rrr." And then on leg day, you take 2.
Of course.
And you go to the gym and you're already vibrating and you're already dripping sweat before you even start warming up.
Yeah.
And you have this crazy workout, and then you feel like absolute garbage afterwards.
Yeah.
And you think it's just because you train so fucking hard that you feel like garbage.
No, you're coming off
And
meth.
You do that for like 2 years straight before you put together that maybe the massive stimulant is like unhealthy for you because you're a mess. You know, and you start training like with much less stimulant, and you realize that there's like a point where things don't get better.
Yeah.
You know,
I never got to that point where you realized that. They just took them off the market. Do you remember they had the drinks? I used to love. I sold $1 billion worth. I appreciate them for buying my first house.
wasn't there like a turbo tea that had ephedrine in it?
All of them. You had Speed Stack, Rip Force, Extreme Rip Force. All of them had it. And man, tastes delicious. Some of them, like Speed Stacks, were like 5 or 10 calories. The Extreme Rip Force was like 100, but I mean, it was like a cran apple juice. It was delicious. I used to get to work when I first started working in the supplement shop. And the first thing I would do was spend the money I was going to make in my first hour of work by drinking one of those and having a bar.
There you go.
Took some time to realize that I was poor and needed to stop doing that.
Right.
But it was, you'd walk in like half dead, and then like, you know, a quarter of the way through, you're like, "Can I help you?" And the guy's like, "Can you leave me alone?"
Oh, yeah.
What about Ultimate Orange? You guys ever use that one?
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember there was a guy at the gym who had like the original Ultimate Orange.
Yeah.
And I remember I had some of it. And that was probably the first time that I ingested ephedrine.
Yeah.
Because I think that was even before the Dimetadrines were on the shelf. And then there was like a Canadian version of Ultimate Orange that didn't have ephedrine in it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
For like a very short period of time. And then it seemed to disappear off the market. You know, what was your experience with it? You try it?
I did. I didn't remember it. Like, I didn't know about it at the time. So I didn't have a very good understanding. And I remember pouring myself a glass of water and mixing the Ultimate Orange in. And then I'd like be in my parents' basement at like, 13. Perfect age to start using ephedrine, right? 14, probably like 14, 15. I remember taking a big old slug of it and then grabbing that curl bar and like boom, 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 pumping out a bunch of curls and then taking another slug. And I'd be like, all right, I'm ready for my next set. Like I actually was thinking like you drink it and then you just go.
Right.
So I don't think the timing probably worked out pretty well.
Yeah, by the end of the workout, you're really ready to go.
Yeah.
By the end.
Yeah.
That's the most
Always get a
famous
second wind.
ephedrine product.
Yeah.
Like people used to come in looking for the original because it was before me. And we carried an Ultimate Orange, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So they would come in and ask, "Do you have the original?" I'm like, "I have that one. If I had the original, it'd be fucking old. Hello."
Yeah.
But anyway.
There was this stuff.
That's the guy that sent the Labor Day text. Anyways.
This might have been like more in the era that you had supplement shops, Dusty. Do you guys remember a product called Craze? It was a pre-workout.
Raised.
I don't for some reason.
So it was taken off the market eventually because it had like some sort of real actual like drug, illegal drug in it. But I had one tub of that, and I remember that I'd use that stuff at like 4 p.m., get my workout in, at 5 to 6 to, get home at 7, eat. And at the time, my girlfriend worked a midnight shift. So, or it'd be like her day off. So she'd get over the house at like 10 o'clock at night, and then we'd stay up for a few hours. And I just remember like, it'd be like 10, 11 at night, and I'd just be like talking still, and just like wide awake. And it's like hours after my workout. And I came to the conclusion, like, I think there's something different about that pre-workout. And then lo and behold, they took it off the market.
That would have been the point where I bought as many.
Yeah, a lot of people did that too.
Like, you and I think totally different. Like, this doesn't seem safe. How many do you guys have at the warehouse?
Yeah.
I have a credit card, and we're fucking getting this done.
Yeah.
Genius.
I remember that like I had a similar thing with 1,3-dimethyl.
Yes.
When the first one MR, is that what it was?
Yes,
I remember that.
One MR came out, and it had and it had 1,3-dimethyl in it, and I tried that and had like this crazy workout, and then passed out in my car in the parking lot.
Whew.
And slept for like 30 minutes post workout and drooled all over my shirt with my car running. And I woke up and my phone's on the floor and I'm asleep with drool all over me. And I'm like, holy fuck. And then the next day I take it again and go train and have a killer workout. And I go to Safeway and I'm checking my phone in the parking lot, and I fall asleep in the Safeway parking lot with my car running.
Oh, shit.
It's like winter time, right? So I'm sitting in my car and it's running. I fall asleep and I wake up and my thumb's on the keypad. So it's like J, like, I fucking slobber all over me. And I'm like, this fucking pre-workout is crashing me.
Yeah.
And then I go home and eat my post-workout meal and pass out on the couch.
Huh.
Like, and my girlfriend
Maybe that was a good thing, though, because think about that immediate recovery you were doing. I could sell this shit. Oh, this is good for you, Ron. Trust me.
Immediately drops you into a good deep sleep.
Yeah.
You're in REM. You're in REM.
Yeah. No good.
Yeah,
no
it doesn't sound good.
Oh, boy. Killing me.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Let's see what else we got here. All right. Training question for the show. What are your thoughts on the idea of using low rep warm-up sets compared to higher rep warm-up sets? On big exercises, I go 8, 6, 4, 1, progressively getting heavier up to 1 to 2 working sets. All the best, lads.
It's a good question. And I actually kind of go almost workout to workout on that, depending on how I'm feeling. I do generally do a little bit higher rep on my warm-ups now because, I'm just trying to be really, really, I'd rather expend a bit of strength warming up and not be so concerned with my top sets, as they say. You know what I mean? I'm more concerned about just like training perfectly pain-free and mechanically correct and being, very able to continue to train without any interruption. That's my priority. So, I know there's a certain amount of calculated risk that we do in everything. So that's, part of that choice. I think that he says he goes down to 1 rep, which I think that's too low. I think that's kind of nonsense. I think there's something about moving. You got to move your last warm, like, your prep set, your final prep set. You got to move it for I just think mechanically I would need a lot more, sort of.
It depends on the lift, though, because if I was doing
rehearsal.
deadlifts, I would do that. Because I don't want to do 2 or 3 reps with, 600 pounds if I'm going to 700. That's so the way I do it's like an intro. It's like, okay, I don't want to go because I usually would just add a plate, like on deads.
Right. So 90
similar
pounds
to what
jump.
he was doing. It'd be like 10 pounds or 10 reps with 135.
Deadlifts would be a good example. Yeah.
Yeah, where all of a sudden it's like, okay, I definitely don't want to jump straight to 7.
I guess I'm thinking of
taxing.
leg pressing.
You're doing a lat pull down right now, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah, like I could see you doing like a 1 rep lat pull down. Okay, I'm ready for my big set now.
Why'd you bother?
So yeah, good point. But generally I would,
though.
It's like on leg day I do 10s on everything at least, even 20s.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we did that when we did ours. It was Ron was doing 20s on every warm up, and then we were shooting for as many as we could get with the heavy weight. But it's like that's one of the things that are funny about videos that people don't realize. So we don't typically put an entire set because somebody wants to watch that.
Yeah.
But if you ever did, it's important to know what led up to it.
Sure.
because if, we probably did 5 touch sets, at least 4. So, he's at 100 reps before he started
right.
the actual, and we're not talking about like small jumps. I think we're going up 180 pounds at a time, so he's got, say, 12 or 14 plates aside for a set of 20 before the working set,
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Ron. It's workout to workout, and for legs, to me now, it's always the reps. Yesterday, I literally decided to try something different because I was smoked after doing Smiths and a sissy squat leg press. I put, I think, 10 plates total on the leg press. I was like, all right, I'm going to do 30 reps, then stop, take 3 breaths, do 5 reps, stop, and just go. So it was 5 reps, rest real quick, do it again. The rests were hurting more than just keep going. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to try to get 100. And only 10 plates at 75. I was like, fuck you, we're done.
Yeah. 100 reps is crazy. I've done a few 100 rep sets.
Yeah,
I've done a few.
I
remember, I think
that's
the last one I did
now.
was 5 plates.
That's brutal for 100.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. That's what I had yesterday, and trust and believe 100 was not possible.
Yeah.
So that's nasty.
The workout was funny, Scott. I was doing like, warm-ups of 20.
Right.
And then when I actually get to my working weight, I fail at like 14.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Dusty does like warm-up sets of 10. Yeah. And then when he gets to the same weight that I got 14 with, he gets 50.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, leave the full one on the last one. Don't tell anyone about the warm-ups.
Yeah. But you know what?
50.
There's I think, okay, so when I first started understanding how to lift weights, I knew that I had to warm up the muscle. And I think later you start learning that part of the warm up is like warming up your central nervous system too.
It's rehearsal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because like you ever go in the gym and you lift, this is what I tell clients too, is like you ever go in the gym and you lift a weight and let's say you get 7 reps on it and then you do a second set with the exact same weight and now you got 11. It's like that. It feels lighter that second time. It didn't get any lighter, but your central nervous system was more keyed up. So I think my answer to him is whatever it takes to get that central nervous, get the muscle warmed up, but get that, CNS queued up and ready too. Like Dusty did for the 50. I could only imagine what that set was like.
It was long.
Yeah.
But you know what it is when you get older, I don't know how old this guy is, but, and you guys might relate to this, on anything pressing upper body, I'll do 135 for 10, and it feels like pain and pull and ache. And then I'll wait a minute, and I'll do it again, and it feels flawless.
Yeah,
like
my body's moving. I'm like, oh, so I always do that first warm up twice on upper body. I have to, and it's literally like I'm in a different body 1 minute later when I do it again. I'm like, oh, thank God.
I get a lot of that with back.
Yeah,
okay.
I get a lot of that with back. Yeah.
We're old people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got here.
Get off here.
Has Dusty or Ron noticed when training progressive overload following a logbook that you change out movements for smaller body parts more frequently than larger movements such as bench press, military press, deads, etc.? Thanks, guys.
I don't really recall having that observation. I know that I didn't put as much like concern into my numbers on certain things because they just like, I don't know, like preacher curls. They're just like so technical. I would like not force the progression on those things as much as I would on like say an incline barbell press or something. But yeah, I don't really remember like swapping them out more or less. But Dusty probably logbooked a lot longer than I did.
Well, what you said is 100% accurate, is there's 2 schools of thought. A lot of people, they remove an exercise as soon as they're not progressing on it. And obviously you're not going to be progressing on a, strict curl the same way you are on a leg press.
Yeah.
So it'll go quicker. I'm with you, Ron, actually, though. I didn't change them out as often. What I was obsessive about was, okay, but how did I feel it today?
Yeah.
So I could get the same reps. I know this is where it gets a little choppy for people that are log bookers, is they're so obsessed with the number going up that they actually start cheating. And
Yeah, just
things are getting
1%.
worse. And it's like, well, like you said, if you cheat 1%, you're not even doing the same movement anymore. So I found that what I would do is get really technical, or Dante taught me some things like make sure that's a full stretch at the bottom and a pause, then come back up. Those little tweaks, I was like, oh shit, that hurt way more. I'm down 2 reps actually, but it was better. You know what I mean? Then I'd build that one back up, things like that. So I agree with you 100% on that, Ron.
Okay.
Oh boy.
At least we agree.
Oh boy. Been listening since episode 1. Love the show. Serious question. Since Ron eats pizza with a fork, when eating a cinnamon roll, does he follow the bread around the roll so everything is evenly dispersed, or is he one of the animals that eats it from one side to the other instead of saving the center for the final bite?
This is my best friend. I just found out. I don't even know.
That's funny. That's funny. I would tear away at the roll and I would follow it around.
That's acceptable. But with your hands, you're lying right now. You're fucking lying to everyone.
No, I would use my hands.
You were just pretending. That's a dirty cinnamon roll. It's messy. You're really going to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's baked goods is different than savories.
Oh, wow.
You don't understand. It's a long story.
I'm going to have to film this because I love, dude, Cinnabon. Oh, shit.
Oh, they're crazy.
It's been a long time.
I like that he kept the bias out of it by saying, or is he one of them animals?
Yeah.
No bias.
He just powers through the cinnamon roll from one side to the other, breaking all the little barriers that are inside of it.
He's right, though. The center is the final bite because it's the best bite.
Yeah, after that, you can't go back to the outside,
No. Fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
Great question. We can cut the show now.
Lucas, he's got one for us again.
There we go.
It says, question for the next show. Being with Mutant or any other supplement brand, how it impacts your life. Is sponsorships critical, or are they just in an addition?
Well, I mean, I just super fortunate to, have such a good relationship with the people at that company. So, I mean, it's crucial to what I do because it's a big part of it. And, I really like having it in my list of things that I'm a part of, I don't know. I mean, it's 100% positive for me. I imagine there's people out there that maybe have a deal they're locked into that they can't get out of or something, but I don't know.
I think when he says crucial, a lot of people are hunting for a sponsorship. Like they think it's going to some magically well, now I have this brand behind me. It's not how it works, So I think it's really important, like Ron said, that you're connecting, same way you connect with people. It has to work. I mean, for example, with Mutant right now, every single athlete on the team gets along. So it's very, even if they bring someone new in, we discuss what's it going to, do you know them? Is it going to work with our team? You don't want to fuck it up. You bring in one person that doesn't click and you've kind of screwed. But like Ron said, I mean, when you have the right one, it's absolutely amazing because I think, for example, Jamie's going to find that out over this year because it's just a totally different thing. They're very concerned. Okay, you're competing this weekend, and we have an event. We'd love you to be at the booth when you can. The end.
That's cool.
Like other brands are like, cool, opens up at 10, closes at 8. See you there.
Bring your meals.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give a fuck. That's not their thing. So, and for me, it's been crucial because it's helped. I mean, the enjoyment process is unreal. I mean, when we travel, it's it's literally, it reminds me of playing hockey and going on the road. It's fun. Everything about the trip, even the work, is fun. And the last thing is, of course, it's crucial. It's money. I mean, if you have extra money coming in, no matter what the number is, my first paid sponsorship was $500 a month. And at the time I was not, wasn't making much money. That was enormous.
Sure.
I was like, holy shit, I got $500 extra, to do stuff with. So crucial, but make sure it's the right one. And also, my big push for people is everybody wants a sponsor, but really what they're asking for is free money. Like, what do you offer? Give them a reason to want you. There's a reason that Ron has been with Mutant since they signed him, because they give him enough value, including retired, that they're like, you are the face of the company. There's no fucking way you're going anywhere.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
that's well said. I'll add it at, like, let's say the opposite, and I'm going to speak like companies in general, that if you look at what they're going to offer you too, because I do see a lot of people, a lot of younger folks that are looking for that sponsorship, and somebody shows some sort of interest. Maybe it's even just a comment on their post. Hey, you should DM us, for info on becoming an ambassador, Yeah. And you got to be careful, I think, because I do think that there are companies that are cutting a lot of corners nowadays by not doing any advertising, but just relying on you to do all their marketing for them. And what do you really get in return with your code? If you get 20% off of the products, or something like that, if you use your own code. And, I don't know, just a thought that I do see a lot of people that I feel are maybe, I don't know if getting taken advantage of is the right word, because they're not really offering those companies a ton, but the companies aren't offering them much either. They'd probably be better off just not being involved with some of those companies. Would be my thought.
Yeah,
it matters for sure, because it fucks up the game too. Like, when this first started happening and guys just wanted to be with a brand for anything, I was like, no one's going to get paid if you keep doing it for free.
Yeah.
Like, literally, a couple examples. When I got done with the USA's, I don't want to say, but a magazine said, "Hey, we want to shoot you tomorrow." I said, "Oh, cool. How much?" "What do you mean how much?" I was like, "How much are you going to pay me?" Like, "Well, we're going to put you in a magazine." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't buy magazines. How much are you going to pay me?" And literally, they were like, "We don't pay anyone." I go, "Okay, cool. I won't do it."
No
and
kidding.
They paid me $1,000.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because why the hell would I care? Like, I can't pay my mortgage with a, I didn't have all the money, but check out this. I'm on page 726.
I'll give you an autograph.
Like, that don't work for me. And I thought that was wild. And then the story with Mutant that was different was Ron kind of worked my whole deal out with Mutant. And they sent me every product they made to let me try them. And when I flew up to Vancouver, I met the owner, and the very first thing he said, actually it was before I went, I'm sorry, he emailed me. He said, "I want to let you know, this is so you can check us out. We have a deal waiting for you, and let us know when you're ready if you want to sign it. But there's no pressure, even though we flew you to Canada, put you in a hotel.
No.
Let me know." It took about 7 minutes for me. Like, "Give me that piece of paper. Hurry up." But, even those words, it's like, you're going to invest all this money, and if I don't got a good fit, you're like, "Cool, no problem. See ya." That's a good company.
All right, let's see what else we got here. I love the show. Oh, this is a comment here too. He says shepherd's pie is with lamb, cottage pie is with beef. We were talking about shepherd's pie on the previous episode. I got several messages to inform us of that.
But there was a question.
He also has a question after that, and he says, "Question for the next show: Have any of you ever given Mike Mentzer's heavy duty approach a real go, not just Dorian's evolution? #last 5 minute crew."
Yes.
You did.
Yes, I did straight up Mentzer heavy duty for a brief period, probably about 6 weeks. I remember it because I was only going to the gym 3 times a week. And I remember my mom was like, "Are you like going to work out less now?" Because I remember she noticed that I wasn't going to the gym as much. I was still living at home. So I would have been like, fucking, maybe I just turned 18. You know what I mean? And I remember the workouts too. Like, I did 1 set of reverse grip pull downs, like heavy, like fucking heavy with 4 reps. And then I did 1 set of bent barbell rows to failure. And that was like my whole back workout. And then I remember like, you know, just like that sort of thing. Like it was super low number of sets, right? And I remember that the one thing I was surprised at was I still got sore because I was going so heavy and hard on that one set. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was still getting sore. It was funny. I remember I still got sore. And I did leg extensions supersetted with Smith squats, I think was the workout. It was like a pre-exhaust superset. And he just did this, like this crazy set. Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
Like 6 weeks, I think. I remember doing it because I remember wanting to go to the gym more.
Yeah.
Like, you know that feeling when you do DC training and you like want to go to the gym more. And I remember wanting to go to the gym more. And I remember like people were noticing that I wasn't around the gym as much. Like I said about what my mom said. So I remember it was like, and I just, you know, I don't think I made like any real, you know, I don't remember if I made any gains, but I must have just wanted to go back to training more, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I remember doing it.
How about you, Dusty?
I never did that. You know, very, very typical of my style of doing life is when I got into progressive training, it was very simple. I saw a picture of Justin Harris. I saw who trained him, and I was like, he's going to train me, and that's what we're going to do because I want to look like that. And that was it. Like, so there was, you know, I did not toy around with anything else. And like Ron said, I mean, it was nice because I knew for sure that what he had done to get where he was. So I didn't care what I wanted to do, if I wanted to train more. If I was like, I want to look like that. I don't look like that, you know? And I found that was, for me, there's different schools of thought. I tell some guys, like I've had a few clients that really like to question things and want to do this and that. And what about this? And I'm always like, hey, I'm not mad, but I really think you should consider training yourself. Because you want to explore and figure out, and that's fucking awesome, you know, and you should do that. But why would you pay someone like to tell me what you think you should do and then I write it down?
Yeah.
You know? And I was the opposite. I'm like, okay, I don't want labor pains. Give me the baby. How do we do this? Let's go.
Right.
You know? So that worked best. And that was a very simple process.
I know we talked about it before, but how many days was that when you first started with DC?
3. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And did you get
Whole
that
body
same
was
thing
done
as
in
Ron?
2.
Did you get that same thing as Ron where you're like, I'd like to be in the gym more?
I did a little, but I will say because it was more volume than Ron was doing, I was fucked up.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, he's
when you're
doing like
those,
DC rest pauses and stuff, and Mentzer didn't have those written in.
Yeah.
well, plus you're doing your full body, Scott, is done in 2 days.
Yeah.
So your third day, you're starting over again. And I mean, so you're dusting it pretty good. So yeah, although I enjoyed going, it's kind of, you know, you guys know that thing where you're like, oh, I love training. And then after a day, like 2 days, maybe your third day, you're like, I need tomorrow off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm wrecked, you know? So that saved me for sure. But it is very, like, it is when you go from like 5 or 6 days a week to 3, like you go to the gym, people are like, oh, you on vacation?
Yeah.
What?
Especially because like the time like before I did that that Mentzer style attempt, I think I was doing like a Lee Haney program.
Oh God, you were training 9 days a week.
Yeah.
So it was like fucking, you know, I like was a kid that lived at the gym, right?
That's a blast. I always thought that Mentzer, I have a feel that he was like when he started writing his books and stuff, it was like how you catch a fish and then every year when you tell the story, the fish gets bigger. Like, I feel like his sets got lower.
Yeah, they
as
did.
He told the story.
They did.
Yeah,
And it changed with time, you know?
Yeah. So I think that, you know, I bet you his original program looked very similar to what Yates was doing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's lots of people that talk about how they saw him train and they were like, he did like 4 sets of everything. He did like warm-up sets and the prep set, and then like they went hard on a set, like just kind of looked like everyone else's workout. Like I remember lots of people saying that afterwards, you know.
He had like a lot of mental health stuff. I think there was some schizophrenia too, and it got more and more extreme. So like by the end, it was like you only train legs once a month. You know,
he was an amphetamine addict too.
That's
Ooh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him like in his older days with that big old mustache and the glasses, just like chain smoking outside of a gym, talking about lifting weights, and just looked he wasn't training anymore. He was training other people, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love their physiques though, man. Like
Yeah.
you look back when they're in their prime, like they were doing something different because his brother, and the people who kind of followed them, they all had that like rugged fucking muscle. I mean,
Yeah, it was a neat look. I know what you mean, like that 170s look that kind of had that Mike Mentzer look to it.
Oh yeah,
it was
nasty.
good. It was good.
You got any more?
No.
I was pulling a picture up here of
nice
Mike and Ray together here.
I mean, come on, dude.
I remember reading
Mike
Mentzer's diet for the Olympia, his like diary diet, and he followed like super low calories. Like he would put himself in ketosis really hard and go hard on like hard keto. And then like I remember he was making notes and he's like, I ran some stairs today and then I had 1 scoop of ice cream. It was about 80 calories. And I'm not going to eat again till midnight. I'll have, a half a pound of beef.
Oh, God.
Like that sort of diary entry, like just really low calories and no carbs and just,
I wish Dorian would sell his like Olympia prep diets.
Logbooks.
With the diet and the training. But even if it was just the diet, like, because he was the original that was like, I can do this myself. And prepped himself.
Well, a lot of his diets are in the books and stuff. Like, they're right out of his logbooks. But yeah, they're basic.
I'd love to just have it all together because it'd be cool. I mean, that's something I would buy even if I didn't open the book. Like, cool, I want that.
Just to have it.
I love Dorian's old diet because it's so basic. Like the carb powder he uses is maltodextrin. And the protein isn't whey isolate. It's like whey concentrate maybe.
Yeah, the cheapest you can get.
Like it's like late 80s or you know what I mean? So it's like, just protein powder, even milk and egg protein powder in the 80s he's using. But like protein powder and maltodextrin. That was his like post-workout meal,
Yeah.
Just ground up corn, basically.
Like the cheapest carb powder you could possibly get. And real pretty medium grade protein powder, and he's using that for 2 meals a day. It's just funny.
All right, see what else we got here. The Juice Goose says question.
Love it.
For the lads next episode.
Sort of Top Gun and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
All together.
So I'm writing
in 84.
He says, I'm writing a program for me getting back into the gym after 3 years. And I want to incorporate some form of carb cycling in a growth phase. Would 5 days hammering clean food and 2 days lower carbs on rest days make any difference in insulin sensitivity? Oh, he has a PS question, bonus question. How the F do I get a beard as thick as Dusty's? I look 45 with my hairline and my face looks 7. I need help here.
Man, you just got to trend hard, man. I mean, wait, what? You can't say trend hard? My bad. Well, mine is gravity. All the hair stopped going this way and just fell. So simple, really. How it all broke out. The carb cycling question, though. I hate answering those questions because my answer would be, we'll do it. And then see what happens. And when are your 2 days? I mean, is it 2 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off? That matters. But I really think a lot of guys ask questions that they're wanting absolute answers to that's impossible. There are certain things that and Ron, Scott, you guys both know this. There are certain things we do with people, say during a diet, when you shoot their calories up real quick and you're like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. They don't. It's going to be really exciting to them. And then it's not going to mean much to me at all because I know what's going to happen. I did that over the weekend with a guy who, one of my clients who has pancreas issues, barely produces any insulin. And we've been, the goal with someone like that is to utilize the insulin that they do produce as well as possible, to use as little, outside insulin as possible. So we did something like that. I was like, all right, let's see what will happen. And the first day he did the typical. He dropped like 2 pounds. I was like, oh, nice.
Cool.
And then he sent me a picture of the scale the next day, and he was down 8 more pounds. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I go, it's cool, but it doesn't mean anything. It's going to come back up. And then today he sent me one, and now he's down 12 total pounds. I'm like, okay, now I need all of your blood, like all of your blood glucose numbers sent to me. I need to know what the fuck happened. And my point in bringing that long story up is that's an example of you need to try it for yourself to see what happened. You know, our next question mark. Now, I don't think he lost 12 pounds of fat. Don't get me wrong, but what the fuck happened, and why is it staying off? Because if it was water, I actually expect the scale to go up, then come down. When it comes down, then continues going down. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's happening right now.
I think his
I'm
body
happy.
let go of something.
Yeah, I think that he probably pissed and shit out some stuff that was blocked in. But you know, when you have that kind of situation take place, the first question I have is, okay, can we reproduce that?
Yeah.
Is that a one-time thing? And I'm not saying can we lose 12 pounds again, but what took place, and is, you know, what do we need to watch for to know, oh, it's time to do that again, if you're having some digestive issue that you don't even know about, or whatever it might be, because it can only be, you know, water, fluids, or waste for those kind of numbers in 4 days. But again, I point that out because there's a case where I've been doing this for 20 years. That's never happened. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. You know, I mean, it was bad enough I almost said to you guys, I'm like, this is really interesting. You know, so my advice is simple. Try that and then play with it, because I love carb cycling. But I've never carb cycled with a plan. Like, okay, every 6th day, this happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you guys?
I think that for a lot of people, I really like the idea of some kind of caloric high day, or you know, not being on the same calories every single day. You know, there's a bunch of great studies now. One of the best studies was they followed these different groups they had, and the one group was doing 11 days on the same calories, and then they would do 3 days with 500 calories more per day.
Okay.
Right? So they were below maintenance, losing weight, and then they would go up 500 calories. Oh no, sorry, it was a 1,000 calorie jump. So they were 500 calories below maintenance for 11 days, and then they would go 500 above maintenance, which is a 1,000 calorie jump.
Yeah.
Right? And they would do that for 3 days, and then back down. So it was 11 days low, 3 days high. That particular group had the most consistent weight loss per week without it slowing down for the duration of the study. So, you know, there's a lot of evidence that, you know, some kind of zigzag really helps the process, especially if you're dealing with like natty people, right, that aren't using Cytomel and fuck. I mean, there's a certain amount of bulletproofing you can do where it just doesn't matter if your calories fucking fluctuate. You're just gonna keep losing fat. But yeah, if you're trying to like make it easier to, you know, get your body rolling, I think some kind of moving around is good. That's why we do high days. That's why so, you know, if you're just trying to be low maintenance and not like, you know, you don't want to complicate it, you could just say like, you know, leg day and back day, I do this with my food. Or you could say Wednesdays and Saturdays, I do this with my food. Or you could say Saturday, Sunday, I do this with my food. Like, you know, but you have to set it up for your lifestyle too, and your split, what makes sense for you. That's why I don't like other people telling people like exactly how to carb cycle. Because it's like, how do you want to carb cycle? Because you can do this a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, we know that there's something to it. So try to, you know, implement it. Plus, a diet only works if you can stick to it. And some kind of caloric cycling helps people stick to their diets. We just know this long term, especially if we're not just talking about like super hardcore fucking shredded glute guys that want to win the Olympia. You know, if we're dealing with just regular people that want to look good all the time, it's got to be some kind of like, you know, some kind of like space there for them to operate.
Scott, will you pull up the question again? Because he was talking off season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's talking about, let's see, here we go.
He was talking about, correct?
Yeah, doing like a lower day on his non-training days, 2 rest days.
What would you say about that, you guys, as far as what's the benefit of an intentional carb cycling? Because I carb cycle with everyone, but it's in the off season, but it's based on the fact that, well, you're doing less on these 2 days or 3 days. So we eat a little less. So it is caloric cycling, but the output has also went down, maybe not exactly, but it's went down. Do you see a benefit to that? But by doing something like that?
So who's talking? Sorry.
Both.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think that the amount of calories we burn training is actually really overrated. I don't think it's that many. It's obviously we get the carryover, but guys like us get massive carryover every single day from every single workout. And during our rest days, I don't really believe there's a noticeable drop in caloric expenditure. I think if you just lay on the couch all day training the way we do, if you have your one day where you don't train, it's like your body doesn't slow down that day at all. It's still like, fixing your quads and your damaged hamstrings and your damaged lat cells and your damaged bicep cells and all the problems that it's fixing at the same time. So I don't really think that the idea makes more sense from just like how things like we can get into a groove with things, eating less on your rest days. Well, it's kind of easy to do. You take out the intra-workout drink, maybe pull some carbs from meal 5, and it's like a groove people can get into. But I don't necessarily think there's like a whole lot of like, it's not magic.
Yeah, you're not pulling out 500 calories that you were burning because you weren't burning 500 calories at the gym.
I don't know. I had high days. Sorry, guys. I had high days on my days off too, and I worked.
That's what I was going to bring up. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah,
he had me do my high days on my rest days because that was when I could eat the most food. He's like, "Okay, you got 2 hours here where you're not training. You can shovel more food."
Yeah,
right. No, very true.
So
Plus,
I don't know.
I think that's the other thing that gets tricky with clients, especially if they're in a prep mode. I would feed them, for the day, and they're like, "I can still do cardio, right?" I'm like, "No, I don't want you to do cardio." And train at 70%. They want to go into the gym and annihilate it because they've been given more food. And I'm like, oh, no. For this time period, I want your body to have that food, not your workout.
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean. I think that the average person, like obviously when you're trying to, competing, like I love lower carbs on rest days during a diet because you got to give them the carbs. Like they're going to eat a certain amount of carbs. You got to pull it from somewhere. So I like that idea, but I see a lot of like, recreational people and off-season people that are really like mentally obsessed with the concept that they have to eat less on their rest day.
Huh.
Right.
And I've seen it like taken to really strange levels. Like this one guy that I saw his off-season diet, and it was from a coach that I think is like, but I saw his off-season diet, and it was like training days looked like an off-season diet, right? Like typical, like, cup and a half of rice, 8 ounces of beef, banana, blah, 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 whatever the fuck you're eating, right? And then his rest days were like 100 grams of carbs.
Huh.
He was in a deficit.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, you think that's how your body works? Like, I'm not training at 5 o'clock today, so I'm just going to fucking eat no carbs all day.
Right.
Because I'm not training later. And my body's still recovering from legs yesterday, but fuck that, right?
Yeah.
Why would I feed the workout I did on Tuesday that's still being repaired? Like that's how your body doesn't work like today and then tomorrow, and they're like separate metabolic events that don't overlap at all. That's what I wish people would realize. Like your body's like, it doesn't work like that.
I got one thing I'll add in because I did want to bring that up, Ron. Because that was fascinating to me when you told us about how Chad had you eating even more on your off days, which is so counter to what you hear a lot of times. But the other thing I'll say is, so the guys trying to set this diet up, my thought would be, like my just personal take on how I do things out the gate. just starting a new diet, trying to get this clean food together. He hasn't been on any kind of plan before. I'd probably just try to figure out what he needed to do as a baseline. And for me, I would probably keep it the same every day to start, because you got to see like, well, what can I handle? And then intuitively over time, it would become probably, for me, the way I do things, higher on training days. Cause then we might be like, let's say he gets a cup of rice with every meal or whatever, 45 carbs with every meal. Then you might be like, okay, pre and post workout, let's do 2 cups. And now, guess what? Your non-training day is lower, right? But you didn't you
didn't add it to those days. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, that's perfect way to explain it, Scott. So you don't even need either one of us, because that was like essentially the whole.
He's known
answer.
That for quite some time. Actually,
it's like Dusty and I babble for 10 minutes, and Scott's like, "Hey, here's what you do: start with a cup. If you don't grow, add a cup on your training day." Okay, next question.
Simple.
Why did this take you guys 5 minutes to not really answer?
And the whole basis of my 5-minute babble was keeping things simple.
It took 5 minutes of not simpleness to explain simple.
Scott's like, "Hey, fuck that. Cup of rice per meal. Not growing. Go to 2 cups." Next.
He was so nice though, because he answered it so Canadian.
He sat through all that.
He didn't show us that he was annoyed by our stupidity. He held that in while he waited.
It's through the talking that more comes out. You know what I mean? It's like, it's good.
We're not buying that shit.
It's all good.
We have sitting there with a crinkle cough or whatever he calls it.
Crink off, yeah.
Sometimes
sitting there with his crink off.
We're trying to answer the question with a scalpel, and Scott came in and answered it with a sledgehammer.
Yes.
We have so many training questions, guys. This is like, so when we title this, it'll be
so this really is just bodybuilding? Weird.
Yeah, I'll call this like the training question episode or something like that. All right, question. I keep hearing that my old bro split should be thrown out in favor of working a muscle group 2 to 3 times a week. Problem is that I can't seem to get sore when I do this, and I can't help but thinking it is because volume on each muscle, each session is too low. Most notably is my quads. I also can't get sore on them no matter what I do, and cannot work out 3+ hours a day. Thoughts on this from Bigger Faster?
Scott, this has been a long episode, so why don't you go ahead and answer, Scott, and we'll just sit quietly.
Oh man, I was curious to hear your guys' opinions on this one, though.
This is going to get really long, and Scott can do it in like a minute. So go ahead, Scott, handle this.
It is a longer episode, isn't it? I'll just say this brief. I'll try to be brief with it. That it is real popular now to do like the higher frequency splits, and I do think that there is a lot of benefit to that. If you can get in the gym more frequently. If you can train your legs, say 104 times per week or 104 times per year versus 52, you're going to get more chances to grow your legs. The key is you have to be able to recover from that. I wouldn't necessarily say that getting sore needs to happen. You don't need to be crippled from your leg day in order to have gotten a response to grow from it. But the thought is, I think that if you are going to do higher frequency, that does require lower volume, and then that requires higher intensity. So if he doesn't have the intensity to really power through and kill it with half as many sets, let's say, then maybe it's just not for him. Plus, at the end of the day, you got to be able to do a workout that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy your workout, you're not going to want to stick to it. So no matter what the science says or what anybody says on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram, the key is that you do your workout that you like to do, and that's going to provide more growth than doing a workout you hate.
Told you we didn't need to answer. I got nothing. Nothing.
And he kept adding the things that I was like, oh, he didn't mention this yet, and then he added. Like, oh, fuck, okay, I mentioned it.
This is gonna be a great episode. We're gonna call this one "Ask Scott."
Ask Scott.
Oh God.
I know that we don't really, as far as I know, Scott might be more up on this than I am, but we don't really totally understand muscle soreness, and yet do we? Because it occurs for different reasons and in different levels, and it doesn't seem like it's directly tied to growth. Because, you always get guys that say, oh, yeah, my best body part is my delts, and they never get sore. Yep. And then take me, like my worst body part was my calves, and I can get them crippled, sore where I can't even flex them. And I can do it anytime. You could tell me, hey, train calves today and make them super sore, and I'll make them so sore you wouldn't even believe it. But they don't grow like my delts did. My delts barely ever got sore.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird thing with soreness. We can't really focus on it. I know it's difficult because I came from like the Dorian days where like, you know, you wore your fucking soreness like a badge, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know,
found
it
that
isn't,
gun in battle.
you know, it isn't like absolutely needed, but I know it's a great sign because it means you're targeting things. Like there's no better feeling than training back and the next day, all your back muscles are sore, but your rear delts aren't and your biceps aren't. Right? You know that feeling where you like targeted perfectly, like the entire lat sore and the traps and all the muscles in the rectors. And so it's a great indicator that you know how to train. That's what I think soreness is like, really good that you know what you're doing when you move weights, you know, or you're just surviving massive risky loads.
Seemed pointed. Thanks.
Yeah. You know, you're just like, not hurt yet. Okay.
Right. We had a few more, but we should probably end this episode.
That's
here.
a long one.
Okay.
Yes.
A long one. That's good. It's good. Okay. Remember, everybody, thanks for YouTube questions. We prioritize them. And, you know, it helps us. It helps us connect with the viewer. You know, you get this. We get this with the YouTube questions. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Ring the bell. That was my... So you didn't keep going.
Did you like that, Dusty? I just added that for you.
There you go.
That's beautiful.
Damn. Okay. And remember our mutant codes, IamMutant.com, Big Ron 20, and
If you're in Canada, and Dusty 20 if you're in the United States.
Or anywhere else.
they both work. Do not perpetuate that lie.
Only works in Canada.
I've been meeting people in the States for years. You know, I always wanted to use your code, but I'm not Canadian, so I never
It
did.
doesn't work, so.
Dusty said it once. Okay.
Great.
Okay, remember everybody, it's just bodybuilding.